Hope you've had a great month, and we're back as we are on the last Saturday in every month. We like to keep a bit of discipline, a bit of routine going here, So the guest this week is a name that you, I'm almost certain have heard of, but you might say, now where was he? How do I know him about? Where does he connect with Elton? Well, we're going to find out in the show, because there's a beautiful tapestry here that we're going to try and thread together. All I will mention is that Roger Pope, Ian Duck, Bluesology, a few other names loom large in this story. And he's got a fantastic nickname, but we'll find out more about that much later on in the show. So let's, without any further ado, introduce you to our very special guest for today. His name is Phil Greenfield. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hi, Phil.
Fantastic. It's great to have you on board. And what an atmosphere we're getting there from the sound studio. Right, Phil Greenfield, okay. Welcome to Radio Elton John. How are you, sir?
Thanks for the invite. Very well, George. Yeah. Looking forward to doing this. It was a bit of a surprise, but obviously through a mutual friend of ours, that's how it sort of came about. So, if I can shed any light for people on anything that I can remember, if I can, it's just putting all the bits together at this stage of my...
of your youth.
Yeah, what is it? They say I know all the notes, but I can't remember what order they go in. But anyway, yeah.
Well, we'll let the orchestra play. Now, you are very much part of the Elton John story, but it's through basically other members of Elton's band over the years, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, my sort of introduction, as it were, at that point was in about 1968, 69. And a close friend of mine at the time, we were both heavily into motorcycles and that type of lifestyle. And unbeknown to me, he was a musician from the past. He played in a band called The Classics. He was the leader of in the early 60s, and they were probably one of the first sort of bands that would actually, you've got them now, where they all go out and pretend to be whatever band. The name escapes me for what they are, but they used to actually mimic, if you like, and emulate the Shadows. Because Ian was very tall, thin, wore sort of dark rimmed glasses, and obviously they played all that type of material. But primarily, though, he was a blues based musician.
Right, tall and bespectacled. It's got to be somebody like Hank Marvin, hasn't it?
Exactly. That's exactly the sort of role that he took on.
Yeah, and we are talking about, is this Ian Duck?
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Ian Edward Lindsay Duck.
That's a mouthful, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's actually used in the introduction to one of the songs off of one of the albums where they do an acoustic number. And you've got to forgive me when I forget names of titles and everything, because it's such a long time ago, obviously. But it was basically and it was built around Sonny Boy Williamson. He was the if you like the point of the song, as it were, and when they introduced themselves into the song acoustically, that's what Ian sort of says. This is Ian Edward Lindsay Duck.
Yeah, beware of imitations. Right, brilliant. Now, you got involved in basically working with Hookfoot, but let's start at the beginning. So there was a connection with Bluesology here, isn't there?
Yes. So when I did eventually sort of get introduced by Ian after we were off to meet up with the rest of the band, that they were new to Ian as well, except for the fact that he and Roger knew each other through the early days of the Bluesology, and Roger used to play in sort of other bands around Southampton which is the area that we live, and that's how it came about through that. And later on, obviously, in the proceedings was when Fred Gandy, who was the bass player for Bluesology,
That's right.
he took over in Hookfoot from Dave Glover, who was the original bass player. So
We'd love to offer you the full interview.
I know. You want more from Radio Elton John. You were listening on Red Shorts. The full episode is probably from season 1, 2, or 3. You can get it plus all episodes with a Platinum Experience subscription from rej.world. Since season 4, you can hear full episodes totally free on Silver Experience only at rej.world.